Yeah, it really is a long story about how I met Mother Teresa and how unlikely all this was, because I was going over the seas on a trip for a U.S. senator I was working for, and I simply wanted to meet her because she was living the gospel. I wasn't, but it seemed like she was, and I wanted to meet somebody that was. So I thought I would detour from Southeast Asia through India, meet Mother Teresa, and I'm glad I did. And I met her August 20th, 1985, and she was this tiny woman. I mean, she had this joy. That week she turned 75, and she asked me if I had been to her home for the dying, and I told her I hadn't, and so she said, well, go there this afternoon and ask for Sister Luke. Well, I had the rest of the day to kill. I was only going to be in Calcutta this one day to meet Mother, so I thought I'd go there. I was going there for the tour. I was going there to just see it. But when I arrived and introduced myself to Sister Luke, who was the woman that Mother Teresa told me to meet, she thought I came to volunteer, and so she handed me some cotton and this solution and asked me to clean a fellow in bed 46 that had scabies. And I was too proud to admit that I didn't want to go back to that bed and touch that person. I had no interest in working with the poor, working with the dying, zero. I went there out of curiosity and because Mother Teresa told me to. But next thing I know, I'm sitting there at that bedside with this person. But what struck me in Kaligat, the home for the dying that Mother Teresa opened, was how clean it was, how the people were known by name, how they were comforted, how they were accompanied. They weren't alone. They were dying, and half of the people that checked in there went straight home to God from there. They didn't get better. And the sisters were there to address that need to love and to be loved, which was the best medicine of all. It wasn't a health care facility. I know Mother Teresa got criticized for the primitive levels of care there. It's always by critics that have never been to Calcutta and have no idea what the real world on-the-ground situation is. But it was impressive to see that in this very simple setting, there was so much peace surrounding death. There was so much dignity there. These individuals that maybe had lived like animals on the street were dying like angels and were accompanied. And that to me left a very strong impression that you shouldn't have to be in a third world country to find this, that you could find this in America too.